many times in our country where
Yeah,
tragedy has struck. About this issue in particular, we've seen these videos before, but right now it feels like the world is just changing right before our very eyes. I can kind of imagine how some of our, our elders felt during the civil rights movement to see the world just changing right
absolutely.
before our eyes. So you're there in Atlanta, where certainly there was a recent incident with Rashard Brooks. We've been absorbing everything that's been happening in the country up until this moment. So how are you kind of handling all of this emotionally right now?
Man, as an American, it's hard because it's just it's a growing pain of sorts. You know what I mean? We know that our country is progressing. We know that on the other side of that progression, that we all are going to be better. I think our community and people who are essentially descendants of the cornerstone of this nation, and the cornerstone of this nation is the Constitution is important, the founding fathers was important, but free labor allowed all that to stand. And as a descendant of a slave, and when I say descendant, I don't mean anything long. My great grandmother taught me how to sew a button on a shirt as she was sewing blankets that we still use in my house. Her mother was born enslaved. So that's how close slavery is. I know how to sew a button because the slave taught her child to, and that child taught me to. That's how close. So I think that I'm excited that progress is happening, but I know on the other side of that progression, Breonna, Mr. Floyd, brother that was killed here, there are martyrs, and we've long been martyrs for the progression of this country. And I hope that as we enter into another martyrdom, another black person has died at the hands of the state. I hope that we enter this coming out determined to see justice on the front end and not only when we're angry. I hope that coming out of this, the young people that are in the streets organizing continue to organize in the time of peace like they are in time of war because they're organizing effectively. They're causing systemic change in the immediate and not some protracted campaign. And I support that. And plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And as long as you keep doing that, you're going to capitalize off the gains that you're making. And I appreciate, and I don't mean capitalize in a monetary way. I mean, these kids are capitalizing, progressing. Organizers on the ground group level who've been working for years to campaigning around police brutality and violence have in an instant been able to organize people to progress laws.
Yeah, it's been a lot of impressive moments. I mean, you mentioned about how the young people, they're so organized. Because I think about the progression from, say, Ferguson to now, and it's been pretty
Yeah,
outstanding when you think
absolutely.
about it. What has impressed you the most about what you're seeing right now?
What has impressed me that in '92 we rioted in Atlanta. There were riots in other cities. There were riots in Los Angeles. But there was such a stronghold on information. Local news wouldn't let what other cities know until after it was over. What's impressed me is the ability to use technology. We haven't gotten as efficient as Hong Kong, but it's coming. You are seeing at a day and age where in an instant people are able to mob on a place, people are able to say what needs to be said and go and get ghosts. You're seeing in an instant what our grandparents were able to do. Like we have a house party app in which people can sit down on that house party app. You can organize with those 8 people to know what are we going to do in school, what are we going to do in local school boards, what are we going to do with city council. Our grandparents used to have to do that in the basement. Now you're able to do it over your phones and organize effectively and immediately. So I'm impressed by the level of organization I've seen. Because when I was an organizer at 15, 16 years old, we'd have to literally meet for 30 days to plan something. You're constantly there. These kids are able to do it, and these young people and these organizers are able to do it in a blink of an eye. But that only happens when you train like Floyd Mayweather. Organizers are like Mayweather. They never not training. And I think that these are the people again that we should be looking to follow in these times.
But you dropped a mention of the House Party app. Mike, are you on House Party? You use it?
I just found out about it. I got the cool people in my life helped me to what's new. The two apps I'm most interested in right now are House Party and there's an app called Combos that allows me to speak directly back and forth with people. That's a lot cooler than sometimes Twitter where stuff gets lost in translation. But I'm still over there tweeting with the angry moms and dads. Shouts out to the old folk.
I think about where activism was on this issue in particular when Ferguson happened, and looking at it now, and it's while there was definitely a lot of positives that came out of Ferguson, particularly the Black Lives Matter movement. Seeing the level and the difference is that clearly there was a lot of lessons learned there, and they've
Yeah.
applied them now, and so there it definitely seems much more cohesive, and that's been impressive. What has impressed you about what you're seeing, especially from these young people who really have seemed to seize this moment?
What I've seen be most beautiful about this time is kids have the ability to adjust and move and be like water. They're truly plotting, planning, strategizing, organizing, and mobilizing. The skateboard kids came in. Usually you would see in the 60s, black people look like me. We make public protests. We get our heads split open. Sympathetic whites and allies and people who truly believe in freedom, justice, and equality entered the stage. Now, not only are you beating black people, you're dragging off white people. And it became a tapestry, a unified front to give us our most basic civil rights and acknowledge our human rights. That tapestry is happening again, and it's happening in a bigger and better way. I was talking about those skateboard kids. I saw those kids first come in as defenders. When police were hacking with people with batons, they held up the skateboards to protect them. Most kids who skateboard, my kids skateboarders, most skateboard kids in South don't look like me, right? But I saw the skateboard community literally come in and save protesters from beatings. And then they got really frisky and they started attacking back. And I was like, this is, although I don't want violence in the streets because those kids deserve to grow to be adults without being soldiers against the state that their parents pay taxes to. It impressed me that the proletariat showed government that you work for us. And in this moment, we are exercising our right to make public display of the evil that has happened. It makes me proud that I live in a country that has long promised equality, rarely given it to people who look like me. People who don't look like me defend it.
You made an interesting note and observation about the skateboard crew, and I think anybody who's watching has noticed that it's not just black people who are out here
No,
protesting. Like
it's
this
not.
is
It's a tapestry of people.
it's a tapestry of
The,
people.
the
Correct. I mean,
Amish, the Amish.
yeah, yeah. Wasn't that
I didn't
crazy to
even know
see?
the Amish saw the news.
I was thinking, who told them? Right? I was like, I didn't.
I was,
Right?
I was,
So
I was so impressed though. I was so
yeah,
thankful. My heart was
very
filled with
impressive.
joy.
Yeah, so you're seeing all these different types of people that you never thought this issue would resonate with them. It kind of reminds me of your music. Your music is unapologetically pro-black, unapologetically,
Yeah,
right? But
absolutely,
yet, when
absolutely.
you look at a Killer Mike fan, it's across multicultural section of
Yeah,
people. Why do you think your music is able to resonate that way, despite the fact that you are also clearly talking to your people?
yeah. I'm proud to be me. I like me. I like black people. I'm not making no excuses. I'm not making no apologies coming in the door. I love us. I am in love with us. And because I love me, it has nothing to do or affecting my love of others. I have a very good friendship with East Indian cousins, Raj and Neil. They own the store right next to Walters on what's happening. So if you're from Atlanta, you know about Walters. If you're a big guy from Atlanta, you know about the store right next door. These guys have always just been good to me. Raj went to India. He came back, brought my wife incense, these beautiful little elephant characters. He's proud to be Indian. I've learned about being Indian from my Indian friends. When you're truly who you are, how could you be offended? How could you not love it or like it? Like, man, I'm a part of the original people on earth. I'm from the continent that birthed all humanity. I think when you wear that proudly and unapologetically, and not from a place of needing someone to be below you, there's no reason for a people not to like me. I like you. I got plenty of heroes that don't look like me. There's a portrait of John Brown on my wall in my basement. I thought he's a hero. He doesn't have to look like me. You know what I mean? But I refuse to act like people who look like me aren't great. I didn't say good. I didn't say good enough. I didn't say equal. I said great. I'm from a great and mighty people. And if you can't accept that, then maybe I'm not for you. But I believe that because I am simply who I am, I believe that that gets accepted. Because you know what? I remember being on the tour bus, and I'm on there with a bunch of Northeasterners because of course, my rap partners a white guy from Brooklyn, and we're on there and watching Swamp People, and everybody's laughing, and I come up and stagger into the front, and I look at it, and I start smiling, and I look at the room and say, I got more in common with them than any of y'all, and I just walk to the back. Now, because it's the truth. I'm a Southern boy. My grandparents from Alabama and rural Georgia. I grew up more like people on those shows. So I think across cultural lines and across racial lines, people identify with me, but just because I'm your typical American guy. You know what I mean? And I have some special things. I'm not going to deny that I'm special. I was a smart kid, went to Morehouse, had an understanding of some cool stuff. I married a beautiful woman. That helps, you know. But I think that ultimately what resonates with people is that I'm a regular guy. One of my best friends in the world is a white guy from Brooklyn. So I think that people understand that I have the ability not to look past your race or ethnicity, not to look past who you are culturally, but to look at it and love it and learn from it without wanting to co-opt it or be it.
What you're talking about in a very succinct and robust way is really allyship. And that's been a word that, yeah, you have it sounds like you have a lot of really great allies that are in your life. Now in this moment, I've gotten the question constantly, I assume you have too, about how to be an ally. What do I have to do? Right? I've had so many conversations with white people, like really good friends of mine in the last 2 weeks where all right, guys, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but hold on a second. But nevertheless, that being said, is that what would you say to somebody who wants to not only be an ally but be a good ally?
You want to be a good ally in this moment. That's a worthy allyship. On a ground level, if you're just working hard every week, you don't know what to do, you're an electrician, you're a plumber, grab one young man who doesn't look like you, a young woman, and teach them that trade. That's allyship. Allyship isn't just throwing the money, but if you got the big money, put it towards somewhere. But on a very real and basic level, my son had an accident with a man named Keith. I bought my son a car. My son Malik, with a very pretty girl in the front seat, rear-ended this guy. Calls me. I pull up to Keith and the police officer. I say, if he'll allow me to handle this privately, I just don't want to call my insurance company because, I had just got in an accident, but I drive fast. My son, Keith, in good faith, gave me the opportunity to do that, and me and this man became friends. I'm literally friends with this white man who told me about Atlanta pre-white flight and desegregation, who's taught me about fatherhood and the importance of presence in your child's life. That doesn't happen if we're not open for it to happen. So an allyship with white people doesn't have to be an organization that's saving the world. But you do have to do what me and Keith did. You do have to, on blind faith, trust someone who doesn't look like you and allow that person to educate you. So an allyship is not just calling your black friend saying what I do. It's going to black organizations that might be local and saying what am I do. It's calling your friend and saying, what's the next thing you're doing? And I want to be an extra set of hands. Doesn't mean you get to go to the black people meeting, but it does mean that they say, I'm going to feed people on Skid Row. You show up. And you show up with empathy and care, and you do it. And I'm going to tell you, we need doctors in that space. We need lawyers in that space. We need legislators in that space. We need the people who are really empowered to be in that space, because there's some things that need to happen on ground level that once the grassroots people have gotten it here, there needs to be money put behind these things. A lot of the problems that we have now that are erupting could have been solved in 96, 2006, 2016, and all these other years, but we chose not to because we trusted the right thing's going to happen. Right thing's not going to happen unless we make it. And after that, you have the potential to truly be brothers and sisters. You have the potential to be past the letting cultural, national, religious markers evict the fact that I know that I'm talking and I'm with a human being, and at our very core, past any physical difference, my job is to honor the soul of that other human being. So there's no need to have allies because I'm not at war. I truly have a brother and sister. There's no need to have an ally because there's no threat of war. I refuse to send any 18-year-old boy or girl off to die. And that has to be something that's much, much deeper than policy, much, much deeper than the human condition in the last 500 years. We have to get back to that. So that's my humble opinion. I don't know, where that takes white America, but I hope we stay standing up, fighting together.
Mike, we've been having this great conversation, and a lot of people watching, they probably want to know, Because again, these things happen in flashes where 1 minute we're talking about this, everybody's fired up, everybody's willing to do
Yeah,
things, and then the next minute the momentum dies. So how can the people who
yeah.
are watching now, how can they keep this conversation, this action, this momentum going?
Take this conversation, get 8 to 10 people around you, your neighbors and people who live within 10 square miles, and start to see what you can do to affect. And then connect with other people that may be in closer proximity, 30, 40, 50 miles, even another city or places that are doing it right, that are doing it right in other places. Connect with those people and just, if all of us do a little bit, no one has to do a lot. If all of us do a little, if all of us pick a little to do, no one will have to do a lot.
That's a word right there. If we all do a little bit, nobody has to do a lot.
Has to do a lot,
Um,
absolutely.
Nobody has to do a lot. Mike, I have enjoyed this conversation like I enjoy every conversation with you. I can
You know I
certainly
love you.
talk to you. Yes, it is mutual. The mutual respect
Absolutely.
and love of society right here. Thank you, and more importantly, thank you for everything you do on the ground. I mean, so many people. I mean, I knew that you tell the truth the way it needs to be told, but a lot of people during this time of crisis have been
Yes,
exposed to you and understand that. I mean, you really are for the people. This is
I
called
am.
We the People.
Absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
is you all day long. So thank you for all the work and all the inspiration, all the words, everything that you're adding to this conversation, and more importantly to this action. With that said, we have to say goodbye, but we don't have to get out of here just yet because I'm gonna toss this on to my brother
Okay.
Van Jules, who can take it from here.
Jamel and I, we spent the past hour, we've been talking to Killer Mike, we've been talking to Elaine Welteroth. We also got a chance to see that amazing video from Lil Baby. Jamel, what did you get from your conversation with Killer Mike? And more importantly to me, what do you make of this moment that we're in?
The one thing you can always expect from Killer Mike is blunt honesty. I think that's why a lot of people look at him as a really credible voice right now. He's
Yeah.
honest about what he knows and honest about what he doesn't know. So I think when you have those elements, that's going to always make for a pretty good conversation. I'm with you. I mean, this moment at the same time is welcome. It's also a little bit surreal in terms of what took us so long to get here to make sure that we're not always starting from ground zero every time we have to have a significant conversation about race in this country.
Why do you think it's different this time? Because I mean, there have been videos before, and yet people still now act like they're shocked. Help me understand what's different this time from your point of view. What's your theory?
It's two things that I think stood out about the George Floyd video. One, there was no yeah, but. And granted, in my mind, we've seen videos where there was no yeah, but people nevertheless invented a yeah, but. But in this one, there really wasn't one, even if you were Stretch Armstrong trying to stretch and find one, there just wasn't one. What always has just stuck with me is the look on this officer's face as he was kneeling on George Floyd's neck. It was so cold. It was as if this were Thursday. And he showed such little emotion, remorse, any emotion you want to name. He didn't show any of that as he killed a man in the middle of the street with bystanders looking on. So I think that situation, coupled with the fact we had already been reeling from Ahmaud Arbery, we had already been reeling from Breonna Taylor. And even though the situation wasn't fatal, there was definitely a storm of frustration at what happened with Christian Cooper. So this all together leads us to this moment where finally, even the most adamant naysayers who wanted to pretend as if this wasn't a structural problem, what could they say? I mean, there was nothing else that could be said, and I think everybody who was already fed up decided now is the moment, now is the time. The world has slowed down because of COVID-19. If we are going to address this, this needs to happen now.
I've never seen 20, 30 million white people asking black people for leadership. That's interesting because they start, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Google is a powerful tool. I don't know. I'm realizing now, though, that this is an honest question. How do you think that we as African Americans and our allies can rise to meet a moment like this and actually accept the fact that we may actually have a couple million new allies, and how do we deal with that? That's new for us.
I'm glad you used the word leadership because there's a difference between us being put in a leadership position and us being put in an educational position. The educational part, we are long past, right? We don't want to be educating anybody else about race. We're not here to soothe you. We're not here to make you feel better. But leadership is something different. And it looks different depending on how you want to take that leadership. Certainly, we are accustomed to being a voice on these issues. We're accustomed to setting the agenda. It's fine if we continue to lead in that direction. I think what we're looking for is if this were, a relay race, we want to pass the baton, and we want you to be able to say, okay, here's what we've been feeling about this issue. Here's what needs to happen to change it. The other part of this race is that you got to be willing to run it just as hard and as fast as we are. Because if you're not, that's why we remain stuck in the flying pattern that we've been in for hundreds of years and decades as we try to reconcile this issue. So we have to figure out what is the most useful way of allyship. We see a lot of people throwing statements around. We see a lot of people throwing money around. We need that to be a focused effort, and more importantly, to be vocal about it. I can't I can't take any more double-sidedness. There can be no more other siderisms. If I may make up a word, meaning that you give over here, and you're a company that is like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, except for in my boardroom where they don't, or except for in my organizational chart where they don't. So I'm done with that, right? That's great. Charity's great. Charity doesn't change structural racism, right? What changes it is when you actively look in your building and ask, why
Mm.
aren't there more Black people in this building, in this boardroom, in this C-suite? So the allies that we have, what you can do, change the structure and cultures of your companies, of your businesses, of wherever it is you have influence. Start there.
The thing I try to tell people is, it puts us in a no-win situation. I want our white sisters and brothers to be better educated and to care more, but I don't want to have to bear the burden of trying to teach and educate all the time. The reason you pay tuition is because it's costly to educate someone. You coming up to me and saying, educate me, that's costly to me emotionally and from a time point of view. Also, I think we have to be very honest. Nobody would go up to somebody and say, teach me Russian in 5 minutes. And by the way, make me feel good about it. But I mean, you wait, hold on a second. Like, you want me to teach you about racism, which is the history of race in America is just as complicated as Russian. And you want me to teach you that in 5 minutes. And also, if I make you feel bad about it in any way, now I got to be your therapist too. And like you said, soothe you or whatever. That's got to stop. I would love for somebody to come to me and say, I made my whole family watch the 13th and read The New Jim Crow and read White Fragility, and we had a question on page 52. Now, hey, we can have that conversation all day long because you're doing your homework, but don't flop on me like you never heard of Google. If you wanted to know about cryptocurrencies or whatever, you find that stuff out before any Black person ever heard of it. So I'm sure you can educate yourself about anything you want to know. I have to say something to you because I've never gotten a chance to talk to you. I feel like I know you because I'm such a big, mad, crazy Stan and fan. But I love you to death. I just am so proud of you. I'm saying proud of you almost as Patrick. I am so proud that you exist. Where do you find the strength to continue to do what you're doing and say what you're saying, even in the face of opposition, to the point where now the whole world has to listen to you? Where did you find the strength when they weren't listening?
I guess maybe this is just part of the Black woman's condition is that we don't know any other way. And most of us, I come from a line of Black women who were just like this. My mother's like this. My grandmother was like this, where it's the old phrase we've all used as Black people, making a way out of no way. And scream until they hear you. You know what I'm saying? Is that because the opposite, to do the opposite of that is what? Is that I can't even afford to do that. I don't know any other mode but to fight for what's right, but to try to stand on the right side of history, but to speak for people who don't have a voice or a platform as large as mine, because somebody did it for me.
What advice do you have for people who want to have these conversations, maybe not as well spoken, not as well read as you might be, but who really are sincere and want to have a conversation?
I think you have to start from a point of honesty and being real about what some of your beliefs, prejudice, biases are, where they come from, why you learned them. I think if you take anything else beyond race, as we get older, we do a whole lot of unlearning. young folks. When you get to like your 30s, you do a whole lot of that, right? But yeah, my advice is to always start from the point of truth and honesty and self awareness. And you'd be surprised what you can get accomplished just by digging into those things. I mean, if you know you come from a racist background, or if you come from where race was talking about a certain way, be honest about what those conversations were and what they taught you. And ask yourself, is this the kind of person that you really want to be?
Yeah, I feel like there's a 21st century mindset and a 21st century skill set that everybody's going to need a mindset of empathy. I mean, we're going to be dealing with people, every color, flavor, every kind of human being ever born. We all have to deal with each other now because of the internet, because of just the world economy. You're going to be competing against people in China and Nigeria. That's just the world. So you have to have a mindset of empathy to really try to understand where people are coming from. You have to have a skill set of listening. If you understand this conversation, you can talk to black folk and brown folk and Muslims, everybody else. So we're trying to confer a benefit to you. We're trying to make you better. It'll make my life better, but it'll make your life better too. Now, what charity are you supporting?
Well, as some people can maybe see my T-shirt, it says "Support Black Journalists." Right? The lack of still Black journalists in most newsrooms is pretty appalling. What changed my life and what got me really on the right path in this business was being a member of the National Association of Black Journalists. NABJ is the largest minority journalism organization in the country. The development, the networking, job fair, internships, scholarships, what happens there has changed lives. It changed a lot of people's careers. I mean, people like you, Van, and everybody you want to think of, Roland Martin, Soledad O'Brien. It's just a number of people, Michael Wilbon, that are a part of this organization and have been able to build legacies there. And so it's on us to, again, usher in this next generation of young journalists who, I get it right now, feeling really discouraged when they look at not just what a lot of newsrooms look like, a lot of networks look like, but also we're under the under the shadow of a pandemic right now. So there's a lot of journalists who have lost their jobs. A lot of companies are downsizing. They need a reason to believe and to be in this business. And so NABJ has done so much for my career and continues to do that for others. So that's the charity that I support, and the organization that has changed my life and that of many others.
Well, listen, I second that, third that, and fourth that. NABJ is a beautiful organization. I've got groups I want to support as well. But what I want to say to you is just thank you for your light, for your leadership, for your courage, for your entrepreneurship, for your T-shirts and all that type of stuff. Make sure to support the sisters' businesses, and let's keep this conversation going. Much love to you.
Thank you, Van. This is a pleasure.
I got good news for you. I got bad news for you. The good news is that people are activating all around the world, all across the planet for change. That is a powerful moment. Here's the bad news. Unfortunately, this is not a one answer fixes everything situation. We're talking about systemic problems, which means it's not just one law or one person. You need 360 degrees of change to shift to get the outcome that's right. But we can get there if we keep talking, if we keep working, if we keep building. And if we do that, we can reshape America. That can be done. It's been done in the past. We can move the whole world in a better direction. So I hope that your cell phone right now is full of screenshots of these tools that we've been trying to give you to continue taking action from this virtual town hall. When the stream ends, the conversation should not end. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep going. We are in an important moment in history. And what you do is going to determine the outcome. 2020 is going to be talked about for 20 years, 100 years, maybe 1,000 years. But the future's not written. It's up to what you and I do and what you and I decide is going to happen. So I want to give a special thanks to the powerful voices that we've had: Elaine Welteroth, Killer Mike, Jamel Hill. Make sure you visit 50percentpledge.org to learn more about the power of money. Also visit my organization, reformalliance.com. We're trying to make a change. Let's be about it, not just talk about it. I'm Van Jones.
Well, that was the end of the show. Wait, I don't know that. That was probably the end of the show. Bro, they popping loud fireworks by my house. Dang.
Sub.
Salah. Wait, Salah, you say you gonna get on? You gonna get on Tuesday?
Yep.
Bet. Well, give me something on Tuesday. What they got in the idol shop? Hold on, Salah, I'm coming right back. Alright, I'm back. I want to go do something. So like, you know they supposed to have the renegade dance come out on Fortnite. I'm almost at 40 subs.
Just a little yes or no to really gay this is coming back. Sub.
Just a little yes or no. Like a little yes or no to really not no to really gay this is coming back. And they post the what other skins they haven't come out? I don't know. Hey, I gotta think. skirt. But we one of the YouTubers said that we supposed to like drive cars, like the water supposed to like sink this week, and we gonna be able to drive cars this week. So I wanna see how that's gonna turn out. It'll be really fun to drive cars instead of just driving helicopters and stuff. Oh wow. Before I could even land, this dude comes and pushed me. Arena, creative, guess creative. But this skin looks so cool. The girl one looks so ugly. It's because like I don't have no bandana on. Somebody actually like made the detail of the skin and like gave the skin to Fortnite, and Fortnite made the skin.
Can you buy me a skin?
I'ma buy you a skin. I don't got no V-Bucks. Bro, you got a $50 PSN. Bro, are you serious? They already have a clan called TLC. Who will buy the girl skin? Let's say it will but slightly. Don't you wanna dress me? Also, would you be happy if they actually came out with a Renegade dance? I mean, I know it's coming now, but I want to see how it look. Well, I saw how it looked because this YouTuber, he was joining people lobbies with the Renegade emote and was like shocking them. Hey. Oh, Salah, why you didn't come pop fireworks with us? I want to pop fireworks by Chris' house. Bruh, Chris and his friends, they was riding on the floor, right? So they had came around by Kiwanda house, and they was shooting fireworks at us, and they almost hit me in the leg. This dude is straight up lagging. Boom, spammer. I'm just not getting on, so that's something creative. I can't even hit my bills right because I'm just not getting on. I can't even build. Like, see? You're overbuilding. Alright, I'm not going to another island because they trying too hard. Why is they still in? Hey, copyrighted music, copyrighted music. I do not care. Box PvP, nobody in box PvP. Oh, I guess I'll go in this. 2 people. Box fight in Zone Wars. But they popping fireworks loud by my house. Not to more people join. Yeah, I'm spamming you, spamming you. GG's, bro. Oh, this is the tough one, the one that you take fall damage on. Alright, now I'm gonna take that. If I was y'all, wouldn't build all the way up to max height, bro. Hey. Going down, bro. No, I could shoot you down, right, bro? Why am I not? They're literally cheating. Skirt. How? Where did he come from? He was just like underneath the thing and then yeah. Alright, let's go try it, bro. Bro. Can you stop? Of course, bro. Can't even build, cause it's my first game on. I didn't even mean to do that. Bro, just not get on and I'm rusty, okay, buddy? Solid gold. 14,000 XP. already started the. He already started the fashion show, bro. What other black blank can this go with? Oh, yeah, I'm kinda cool with that. Kind of. Probably. Just keep it like that. Big underscore boss. Okay, buddy. Your request to join this game has been rejected. Bro, you need to leave the creative match. Yeah, come back to lobby. Salah, you gonna get the battle pass? Salah, are you even still watching the stream? I mean, it still say one person, but he not typing in the chat. Oh, all this dude has the Captain America skin. Holly Hedges. Bro, how people be getting all these leaked skins and stuff? That's the point I wanna know. How they be getting all these unreleased skins? They gonna have a Shadow Beach skin, or like the Ghost Shadow skin. They gonna have a skin come out like that too. Saw it. Bro, if I find a pistol that is legendary chest, I will leave this match. Oh, thank you. Oh, I forgot we playing solid gold. I'm dumb. I'm thinking we playing regular squads. I already got the loadout. Wait, hold up. Alright, now I got the loadout. They had, I didn't even see nobody there. They give me more metal and wood and brick and solid gold. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to talk to crash pads. The only reason I like using crash pads is like when I'm in a fight and I'm running low and I have no heals, I could just escape with the crash pads. All you find in solid gold is legendary chests. You don't find nothing but legendary chests. In solid gold. No, that's tough. They got this, yeah. They got this, yeah. Yes, sir. I think they should come out with like some of the new skins this week, cause I know this is a new skin. Well, it clearly said new when it came out. Oh, you have me no chance splashes? How y'all gonna do me like that, huh? I'm getting that 5. Here you go. Not even no more than that. Let me see the. Why are we going there? We should go like Pleasant. Is it here? This pickaxe and a fire with this. This is the best combo in the world, bro. This is chill. I still do something normally. They got people power. They not give you 226 brick? What does give you? 85. Dang. Oh, this dude really will take off with the boat by itself. Okay, buddy. Let me go in game chat. Somebody just not got rebooted. Oh, run! Run! I knocked one. Oh, I just now got sniped.
When is you ending your live?
When is your lit ending? Probably around like 1 something or 2. I don't know. Why? When you gotta go to sleep? You gotta go to sleep in a little bit. So like you gotta go to sleep in a little bit. Ooh, heavy.
Okay.
They got so much fireflies over here. By salty. I found like 6 of them last time. No, we gotta go get some more people. Alright, no lie, this is the sortiest squad. This is the sortiest squad I ever had at Sally Gold. And he just not took the launch pad. The sweaty squad ever is a lot of solid God. Are we about to take See? I know that dude raging. We just all spray him with the scar. More people. Okay, but oh, how can you even see that? Oh, he got a sniper. And they just not trying to snipe back at us. I need to stop standing still. What are you at, dude? Oh, I forgot you can't build by the river. Wait, I did the trick wrong. Hey, let's go. Yes, sir. First dub on stream, bro. GG's. He is raised up on stream. Yes, 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 sir. Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir. Yes, 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 sir. Yes, yes. You trying to quit? Okay, he can't even give me one chance to loot the chest. Ooh, 60 life for now. Infinite bloom. Ain't on tier 64 give V-Bucks. Tier 64, tier 65. Tier 65, huh? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. I think the week 4 challenge is supposed to come out on Tuesday too. How long have I been live streaming?
Live stream has been 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah, I just not. X no, X no. Where are they going? That's only one house right there.
Live stream has been 1 hour and 17 minutes.
Yes, sir. Oh, nobody. No, please don't let him cheat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How does they even land over here? This is probably the worst looting spot ever. Cause there's only like one chest here. There's XP coins. Collect blue XP coin. Where's the last one? This is the worst place to land. Bro, they literally took all the weapons. Thank you. Oh wow. All I got is a scar. Who would even think of landing here? I will only land here for arena.
I'm popping fireworks.
So like you popping fireworks? Yeah, I was popping fireworks by Christian house. It was me, Dyson, Diamond, Jaden, Sakani. What the?
Yee.
Yay. What kind of fireworks y'all popping though? Y'all popping the ones that sound like gunshots? Y'all popping fireworks this late? And somebody just not popped a firework by my house. They still gonna be popping fireworks tomorrow. Well, that fireworks sound like a gunshot. Oh, this used to be where the henchman house was. To see where did that RPG even go? We just left our teammate. This dude from what, combat? Yeah, our teammate partner. Is he on the boat? We're about to die. We're about to die. I'm gone. See y'all later. I don't want to die. I don't wanna die. So leave me I also. This should try to get for leaving our teammate. Karma. I'm dipping, boy. Dip. How you actually got the wrist out? Possible. Poor drug splashes. Of course, I'll take that. The only reason I'm not fighting because I don't got no mats. I'm broke on mats, bro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell all your friends to come subscribe to my channel and share this video with all your friends. How did this dude mark it out of the air? Imagine they have an LTM called Solid Mythic with only mythic weapons. That would be so fun. Minis, I'm taking it. Give me a combat shotgun. I want a combat bow. get a comeback. All I'm getting is tags. Oh, and if some of y'all didn't know, the hand cannon came back to the game. They brought it with a new style. Only one watching my stream. Nice. As always. This is my tablet. Now we catch him with the chicken spot up a dot. We hit the trick shot. Ba 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 ba. Listen, that's all I wanna listen. Zaza. Wait, hold up, gotta go all the way up. Back into the store. Hey, we gotta help our teammate though, bruh. Hop back in. Teammate, hop in the heli. You could take your med kit on the heli. Hurry up. Before we get sniped. Oh yeah. Hop out of the heli, it's gonna blow. Oh. Well, we got RPG too. Bro. They have miniguns? Since when did miniguns come back? No, for a minigun. No, we got the chicken spot up a We the people watch the Saturday, July 4th. Hello, bro. What's up? Hey, I need you to break this for a second. Every time when I try to do this, it makes me take. Alright, where you wanna go? Rickety ring. Okay. Rickety ring, rickety ring. I like rickety ring, rickety ring. Gang, 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 gang. Rickety ring, rickety ring. Gang, 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 gang. What happens if you complete the challenge, but you still dance on it? Bro, I can't even swing. Oh, nothing happens. Okay. I got people landing with us. I've never been to this place, so I do not know where none of the weapons is. No, bro, why you left? Why? He had to leave. What I thought. I could do. Bro, I'm just scared because I hear boats. Where's this dude running? He ran me to straight to the trap. Oh, look at it.
Sup. I'm about to go into fashion, and theme is yellow and black. Wait, not yellow and black, yellow and gold. Mhm. Mhm. Tripping. I join YouTuber lobbies with their own scams. The pickaxes was gonna be off. He didn't start the match yet. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end the screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video with your friends, and tell them to come sub my channel. And nobody likes watching my streams sometimes, and hope you have a wonderful day, and just like and subscribe.